What's going on? I'm Jay Shaw. I'm a clinically trained hypnotherapist located right here in Dallas, Texas. If you aren't in Dallas and you want to work with me, don't worry. During COVID, we got really good at doing remote sessions. Today, we have clients literally all over the world. We've helped hundreds of people quit smoking via Zoom. So if you aren't in Dallas and you want to quit smoking, we can still help. Today, I'll be explaining why the disgusting habit of smoking has been so hard for you to quit. You've tried the patches, you've tried the gum, you've tried all of that stuff. And I'll be explaining why none of that stuff worked and why hypnosis is the perfect tool to kick that disgusting habit once and for all. Let's get into it. We got to get you off of those disgusting cigarettes. Now, imagine this circle here as the mind when you're first born. When you're first born, you are essentially a blank slate. You don't fear anything. You don't have any identifications, any associations. The only thing you have is the primitive mind. Now, the primitive mind is where we host fight, flight, freeze. We're born understanding that when faced with a threat, we have three options. We can fight it, we can get away from it, or we can freeze. No one teaches us that we're born already knowing that. Now, as we go through life, we start to make associations. We start to make positive associations. We start to make negative associations. We start to make neutral associations. Like, let's say you grew up in a house with a dog and you love this dog, you cuddle with this dog, you might make a positive association towards dogs. Let's say another kid gets bit by a dog. This kid might make a negative association towards dogs. Now, these two people can be looking at the same dog, but based on their associations, they'll tell themselves two different stories about the dog, and they'll react differently based on the stories that they're being told. Now, for the first 8 years of our life, that's what we're doing. We're making these known associations. And our associations is what we consider to be safe. And the things that we consider safe, of course, we want to stay close to those things. So right now you have a lot of known associations towards cigarettes. They help me to relax. They calm me down. I'm addicted. I need the nicotine. It keeps me going. Those are the beliefs that's driving the habit. Now, around the age of 8, we start to form what's known as the critical mind. And the job of the critical mind is to separate the subconscious mind from the conscious mind. Now, the subconscious mind is 88% of who we are. It's 88% of our thinking ability, whereas the conscious mind is only 12%. And in between the two, we have the critical mind. Now, the critical mind is half subconscious and half conscious mind, and it serves as a filter to filter out information that's coming from the conscious mind into the subconscious mind. Now, our conscious mind, that's where our logic, our reasoning, analysis, willpower, decision making is essentially where our intellect is. And the critical mind separates the two. So when new information tries to come into the mind, what happens is it first goes into the conscious mind, and the conscious mind can immediately reject it. But if the conscious mind doesn't immediately reject it, what happens is it'll try to bypass the critical mind and get into the subconscious mind. So what happens is if the critical mind checks in the subconscious and it doesn't align with what the subconscious already believes to be true, the critical mind rejects it and kicks it out. So let's look at smoking, for instance. You got all of these positive associations with smoking. They help me relax. The nicotine helps me feel good. You got all of these positive associations about cigarettes down here in the 88%. Now, the 12% is making a decision. You've used you're trying to use your willpower and your decision making and your logic to go, hey, these things are bad for me. These things are killing me. So I'm going to stop smoking. So you try to send this idea of stop smoking into the subconscious mind. But the critical mind, being the good filter that it is, it looks down in the subconscious mind. It says, absolutely not. Kick it out of here. So what we do in hypnosis is we poke a hole in the critical mind. Just like when you watch TV. You know it's not real. You know that somebody wrote it. You know that it's scripted. But when you watch it and you give your undivided attention to it, at some point you forget that it's not real and you open up the critical mind. And at that point, the TV can make you laugh. The TV can make you smile. It can make you cry. It can make you aroused. It can make you excited. It essentially can make you feel anything that you feel out there in the real world as you sit on your couch, because it has the ability, once it opens the critical mind, to put in new associations. It can make new positive associations. It can make new negative associations. But before we can change those associations, we have to open up the critical mind. I've met so many people that watch movies like What the Health and decided to become a vegan, or decided that they weren't eating meat anymore based on the new associations that the movie put into the subconscious mind. This is what we do in hypnosis. We open up that critical mind and we start to make new associations about smoking. Because what's currently going on is the 12%, the conscious mind, has this idea, has made this decision to quit smoking. But the reason the patches didn't work, the reason the gum didn't work, isn't because it's a nicotine addiction. The reason that stuff didn't work is because of the associations down here in the 88%. So what we do in hypnosis is we get the critical mind to open up so we can put in these new associations. When we put in these new associations, then the 88% and the 12%, they align and they want the same thing. Once you get the 88% and the 12% on the same side, we have 100% of your thinking ability aimed at a common goal. And once 100% of you desires that thing, then the cigarettes fall to the wayside easily, effortlessly, no withdrawals, no weight gain. Go ahead and schedule your free consultation so we can talk about this as it relates to you. I gave you a really broad overview, but I'm really interested in talking to this as it applies specifically to you. So go ahead, scroll down and schedule your consult, and I look forward to talking to you. Thank you for your time. Let's get into it. We got to